A 200-pound English Mastiff spent 41 nights in the Henderson home, refusing to let anyone touch him. No collar, no history, found alone on a highway at 3 in the morning. 3 foster families had passed on him. The rescue was out of options. Then, a 5-year-old girl sat down on the floor 3 feet away and waited. What Duke did next, nobody in that house saw coming. And what he did at 2:53 a.m. on a Tuesday 41 days later changed everything. Tom Henderson had spent 17 years working with rescue dogs. He'd seen fearful ones, aggressive ones, dogs so shut down they stopped eating entirely. He thought he'd seen every version of broken there was. Then Duke arrived, a 200-pound black English Mastiff found wandering a highway outside Knoxville at 3 in the morning. No collar, no chip, no history. The rescue coordinator handed Tom the intake file and said 4 words: "We don't know anything." 3 foster families had already tried. All 3 returned him within a week. The 3rd family dropped him off without calling ahead, without a note, without a word. That was October 14th. By November, Tom would know everything he needed to know. Not from Duke, from his 5-year-old daughter, Rosie, who apparently never got the memo that this dog couldn't be reached. Duke came home on a Thursday. He walked through the front door, moved directly to the far corner of the living room, and pressed his back against the wall. All 200 pounds of him, folded as small as he could manage, facing the room like he was bracing for something. Tom set down food and water 6 feet away and left him alone. That was the protocol: space, patience, no pressure. He'd done this before, 7 fosters in 4 years, every one of them placed successfully. He told Karen 2 weeks, maybe 3, long enough to assess Duke's behavior, stabilize his routine, find the right permanent home. Tom didn't hear that conversation. She came home from kindergarten that first afternoon, dropped her backpack at the door, walked past the kitchen, past the couch, and stopped in front of Duke's corner. She looked at him for a long moment. Then she sat down on the floor, cross-legged, 3 feet away, hands in her lap, completely still. Tom watched from the hallway. He didn't intervene. Something in the way she'd moved stopped him. No rushing, no reaching, no performance. She just sat there like she had all the time in the world. 22 minutes passed. Duke didn't move. Rosie didn't move. And then Duke lowered his enormous head and rested it on his front paws and looked at her with those deep, dark eyes. "He likes me," Rosie said quietly, without turning around. Tom didn't argue. The first 2 weeks were still hard. Duke flinched at cabinet doors, at raised voices, at the sound of keys hitting the counter. He ate only when the room was empty. He slept facing the wall. He didn't play. He didn't respond to his name. The rescue coordinator checked in on day 10 and told Tom quietly that some dogs carry damage so deep that nothing reaches it, that it wasn't a failure, that sometimes broken stays broken. But every afternoon at 3:47 p.m., when Rosie walked through the front door, something changed in him. He stood up, he turned around, and he followed her, quietly, always at a distance of about 8 feet, never crowding her, never demanding anything, from room to room until she went to sleep. Then he'd return to his corner, same spot, same wall. He never asked for anything. He just stayed close. Still here? Good. Hit subscribe. You won't want to miss how this one ends. English Mastiffs are among the oldest breeds on record. Roman historians documented them in Britain over 2,000 years ago, used as war dogs, estate guardians, fighting companions. A fully grown male can weigh over 220 pounds, stands 30 inches at the shoulder, and generates enough force to knock a grown man off his feet without trying. But spend any time with one and you find something the history books don't mention. They are, underneath all that mass, extraordinarily sensitive animals. They read rooms, they read people, and when they bond completely. Not with a household, not with a family, but with a specific person. One person, their person. Behaviorists call it selective attachment. Duke's foster coordinator called it the reason 3 families brought him back. Tom called it the reason he stopped looking for Duke's next home. Duke had never had a person. Until now. The moment that changed everything came on a Tuesday night, 41 days in at 2:53 a.m. Tom woke to a sound in the hallway. Not barking, a low, continuous hum from deep in Duke's chest, steady and urgent in a way Tom had never heard him before. He got up and found Duke standing outside Rosie's bedroom door, completely still, nose pressed to the gap at the bottom, that sound vibrating through the whole hallway. Tom pushed the door open. Rosie was curled on her side, breathing fast and shallow. Her skin was burning. Karen got the thermometer, 104.1. They were in the car by 3:09 a.m. The doctor at urgent care said it plainly. Another degree and they'd have been looking at a febrile seizure. He asked what made them come in so fast. Tom said the dog woke him. The doctor set down his clipboard and looked at Tom for a moment. "That happens more than people think," he said quietly. Duke had woken them before either of them had any idea anything was wrong. When they got home just after 7 a.m., he was still outside her door. He hadn't moved in over 4 hours. Tom sat down on the floor next to him and put a hand on his back. Duke leaned in, just slightly, just enough, and let out one long, slow breath. It was the first time in 41 days that he'd chosen to touch anyone. When a dog tells you something is wrong, listen, not tomorrow, right then. They carry senses we stopped using centuries ago, and they spend their whole lives pointing those senses at the people they love. Don't dismiss it. Don't explain it away. Trust them. That is their world, and they let us live in it. Tom filed the permanent adoption papers 3 days later. He didn't discuss it with Karen first. She found the paperwork on the kitchen table and signed it without a word. Duke is 4 now. He weighs 204 pounds. Every night, without exception, he sleeps outside Rosie's door. Not because anyone trained him to, not because anyone asked. Because on day 1, a 5-year-old girl sat down on the floor 3 feet away and waited. No demands, no timeline, no promises. Just quiet, patient presence. The kind of presence that tells a broken thing, you are safe here. You can stop bracing. Nobody is coming to take that away from you. Tom says he still thinks about that first night sometimes. Duke pressed against the wall, refusing everything. And then Rosie, sitting 3 feet away, perfectly still, asking nothing. And Duke, who had been wandering a highway alone at 3 in the morning with no collar and no history and nowhere to go, finally had somewhere to go. He decided she was his. And that decision, for a dog like Duke, is the only kind that lasts forever. Would you have kept a 200-pound dog with no history, or would the risk have been too much? Let me know in the comments.